Hello, everybody. I'm Karen.
And I'm Mae.
And we are from Boomers to Gen Z. So we are going to talk about empty nest syndrome, which we all at one point or another will experience that for those of us who have children. So don't go away. I'm going to tell you how to manage that and to enjoy the whole process.
Speak soon. So Karen, my son turns 8 this year. If I calculate, that means I only have 10 more years with him before he leaves the nest. And that's really scary. Everything that I've done, he's kind of been the center of all of the decisions. And also that having a sense of purpose, like you can't skip dinner when you have a kid in the house. There's this sense of routine. And to think that in just 10 years that could all be gone because he will leave home. Like, what am I supposed to do? How did you deal with it? I know you have kids as well.
Okay, first off, you still got some time to enjoy the moment. I had a little bit of a down moment when my children left home for college. My only advice is to look for a way that you have social support. So friends who maybe are going through the same thing with you, or even just making effort to. We tend to revolve a lot of our activity, our life around our children. And we tend to be so busy, absorbed, taking care of, I'm sure you do, which is taking care of his meals, making sure that his activities, being there and being a present and a good mom that you are. But when you do that, you also neglect your social outings and your social friends. So as the time comes closer, look at people that you think you could hang out with and could understand and brings you joy. That's something very, very helpful. I was so absorbed with my family and career, I truly neglected the social aspect. And I found myself kind of alone, and I felt like I had no one to reach out, and that was quite scary, and that's a huge mistake on my part. I wished that I had been more present with friends. So what I did was I started to at least join the hiking group or do little things and make more effort, because before we always find an excuse and say, oh no, I'm too tired, I'm staying home, or I have to wake up early tomorrow because it's a school night. So we all been there, and we kind of put that in the back burner. So make that effort, I suppose. Then look at building a new hobby that may interest you, because you will have a little bit more time on your hands. Although you'll be really young still, but you have a little bit more time because he doesn't need you emotionally and physically as much as he does with you now. So you maybe want to find new interests in terms of a new skill, because that keeps you purpose as well.
Yeah.
When you wake up and you have purpose, you have a goal and say, oh, I've got to learn this, I'm excited. That helps you as well to go journey through that. Prepare yourself that this will be a silence in the house kind of thing. I know it seems silly because now all you want is like some peace and quiet.
Even like when he goes to school and I'm preparing lunch, I'm excited for him to come back. And always, whenever he comes through the door, the first thing I say to him is, Baba, where you go? To school, Mama. Oh, there you go so long.
Too long.
And then he comes home and I'm like, shh.
Don't talk to me, I'm busy.
Yeah, the scary part is like, how much you're gonna miss them, like, and you can't do anything about it.
No,
you just have to like miss them, and like that's so painful just to like think about.
It's so true, because when they are actually home, we kind of shush them out or say I'm busy, and then when they left, I had this little void for the longest time. I was still cooking as if we were four in the family, because it was just this little habits, or I would still wake up early because I thought I had to, get the breakfast going and stuff like that. And I realized things change. I knew that the minute they left home, the dynamics at home would change tremendously, and it did. The syndrome of empty nest syndrome only lasted about 3 to 6 months.
Oh, you get over
was,
it.
you know, and then suddenly you got this liberation because you got time. You're not at mercy or on the clock to do something else. That was quite nice actually because, you know, there was also a time where my husband and I, we could travel places that we didn't have time to do and enjoy.
And you don't have to buy 4 flight tickets.
Exactly. Yes, which is super expensive, right? So those are the things that I kind of enjoy. But I do understand when you have your children leave. It's something that is very, very painful. And for some reason, you know that it's the end of what it used to be. And it's the beginning of the new chapter, new dynamic at home. And because when they leave home, this is where they look for their career. They maybe likelihood of meeting their life partner around, you know,
This time. Yeah.
exactly, because they moved out and they become independent. And as a mother, that's what we want. We want our children to be independent from us. We want them to be successful on their own terms and that they don't need us. Then I've done a good job.
But you get the validation.
You don't want your children growing up where they need everything from you, whether it's financially or emotionally or physically. That's not a healthy relationship. The goal of every parent is to give your children the life skills to fly on their own. You also want him to be.
Of course, I'm thinking boarding school.
That's the other extreme now.
It's gonna be a painful process, and like, because I had Zach, he's so young, there is like that, like, please get where I'm coming from. It's like we're growing up together in a lot of ways. I'm figuring it out as we go. So it's a very intertwined relationship. Can't like load off my needs onto him because that's not what the role is, right? You know, like I'm the mom, I'm supposed to know, like, set those boundaries and stuff, but it's me knowing deep down inside how much I need him, but then, like you said, I have time.
Yes.
I have time to wean myself off.
You have time, and I mean, yours is a very unique situation because you did have Zach at a very young age. If you're a first time mom, you're first time mom. You want him to know that you are the mother, but at the same time, you don't want that line blurred between a mother and a friend with him, because the child needs to know that you are the mother.
Yeah,
I feel that there's this thing where, you know, some parents say, I want to be their friend. For me personally, I don't agree, because I think that children need their parents. The way we talk to them as they get older is very different, for sure. I'm just saying we need to be always present for them as children. That we are the parent, right? So I have a question. It's rather personal. As in, if you had Zach very young, do you plan to have children again?
I think I definitely would want to have like one more child. And I know, like, the world and everything, you know, not many resources and all that stuff. But just me, like, maybe it's a selfish one, but I do want to have another child. And it's because I want to experience it without being in survival mode. So I feel like the first few years when I had Zach, because I was so young, like, I didn't really have much stability. Not yet actually where I want to be, but definitely a lot better than where I was when I had him. I didn't really get to enjoy it. Like, I didn't get to really, like, do the things I want to do, you know, puree the foods in that way. Like, I was always getting help here and there. So I wasn't able to just be with my baby because I had to, like, go and work. So I really just want to experience it, you know. And I think that Zach and me will always have a very special relationship because he helps me, you know, like he's like my little man, like my little dude. But, like, yes, I'm not his friend, and I think I made that very clear to him. And the reason that I think I need to make that even clearer is because I'm so young. Even his friends' moms, they talk to me in a way where, like, they're constantly telling me what to do as a mom, you know. And I don't think that they can help it, but, like, for Zach, if he sees that as a vulnerability, like, later on, that could make our dynamic very, very bad. He could stand over my head and, like, just not respect me enough to listen to any advice or guidance. So it's actually good, and I think that my son is very scared of me. So I think it has worked out nicely, but I want to have another kid that I can just sort of, like, enjoy, like, the whole process of a bit more.
Is it safe to say that maybe when you have your next kid and you are more mature and you're
Yeah.
actually the
Ready.
different, ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be ready.
Yeah.
I want to be able to tell my partner, like, okay, let's try to have a child
Yeah.
instead of it just being a surprise,
Yeah, I get you. Because Zach is a wonderful gift, but you were just growing up yourself,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
And like I was figuring things out as I go. And also I think that Zach would make a really good like big brother. I think it would be like me and Zach's relationship will always be very unique because of that age, the age I had him. But I would like to have another child in a more conventional setting.
I get you. I mean, but I'm so admire what you do and what you have evolved. When we are in our 20s, we're so figuring ourselves
Yeah.
out. There's so many levels in our relationships, and you have the extra added responsibility of having Zach and how you have coped. I mean, you have definitely changed my view. I have to admit it is easy for people to judge. But when you open your mind and stop judging and just see the situation and you realize that there is always a story or a relationship that has happened before. And thank you for opening my eyes on that.
Thank you for letting me. Like you didn't shut me down.
Seriously, because I had preconceived ideas, and when I heard your story, I thank people like yourself and my children for opening my point of view and say not everything is so
like in the
cut
box,
paste,
yeah,
which is the problem with me because I like everything to be just so, and I had to open up my perspective, and I totally respect and thank you for doing that because it just made me realize how wrong I am and how I love the fact that you didn't let your past define you. You're creating your new future, your new path, and that you're willing to learn. So that is something I hope all Gen Zs will look into and take and learn from me. She's embracing her past and is now embracing her future. So emptiness syndrome, how you can cope with it is prepare yourself mentally that things will change, dynamics will change, household routine will change, and that's for mindset. Number two, find groups of people that you can find moral support and do fun things together, and don't just like throw yourself into work and then that's it. That's not healthy. Number three, explore new adventures. Like for me and my husband, we took time to travel. So every year we would plan for at least 2 or 3 trips. And then do something that we would never bother to do. So we got into hiking. We went in exploring some remote places in Bhutan. And so when you open yourself to seeing new things, absorbing new culture, absorbing new language, you also understand another person's perspective. I think the problem with the world today is that we are so fixated to be right. We are so fixated to seem that we know everything and not willing to open up and say, maybe I don't know everything. And that's why, it will make our world a lot more peaceful and a lot more accepting if we are open and willing to understand someone else's perspective.
I think that that's beautiful. And like scientifically, we know when the end of life is. But like, I think that we need to stop drawing our own conclusions of when we think it would end. So, when my children grow up, that's it, finished. Like, you shouldn't create your own endings. Let's just follow science on this one. Yeah, we don't need anyone else's opinion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it's a journey, and I guess it's just another chapter in that journey. And it can be fun. Freedom sounds nice.
Freedom.
That's something to look forward to.
Nice. If you like our conversation today, don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment on our website, on our YouTube page.
All of this is just for entertainment purposes only. It's just our opinion, so take it lightly. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, leave comments below, and we will talk about those topics in our upcoming sessions.
Exactly. See you then. Bye-bye.